This is fantastic. I love that the, 2026 lipid guidelines have now put together all this information. We had that expert consensus triglyceride guideline that came out. And it was unfortunate that it had to be separated, but data being what it was. Here we're putting it back all together. Hypertriglyceridemia gets a strong voice within the guidelines here. And it's important to recognize that statins are still foundational. When we talk about ASCVD risk, there's still a dichotomy when we think about hypertriglyceridemia as either a risk for cardiovascular disease or as a pancreatitis risk. And so we have to kind of think of those two pieces here. But when we think of hypertriglyceridemia, then it's expanded. So we used to have this like 150 to 500 and 500 to, 1,000. Here, you've compressed it to anyone above 150 to just under 1,000. So 150 to 999. Again, statins remain foundational. And then there's this group of greater than or equal to 1,000. What's the difference here? Well, definitely dietitian referral or nutritionist referral is recommended when triglycerides are greater than or equal to 1,000. It's so important. Dietary changes and much more strict look at what you're putting into your body because triglycerides are affected quite a bit by this. And then again, statins. But olezarsen, we're just now into just a lovely era of ApoC3 inhibition, and olezarsen is first out of the gate. Of course, I'll mention that there's another one out there, but here they came out in time by clinical trial to be mentioned in this guideline. It is so important to remember familial chylomicronemia syndrome. These are individuals with triglycerides that are greater than or equal to 1,000. And of course, you can genetically test, but they have recurrent acute pancreatitis, which can be deadly. Any one of those events, much less that if you survive it, is not a really good disease state or event to have. So adjunct to diet, that's olezarsen. It is an ApoC3 inhibitor and recommended by the guidelines to start it. It's class 1. This is how serious we are with acute pancreatitis and recurrence. And even in those that have FCS, familial chylomicronemia syndrome, without an event yet, pancreatitis, this is like coronary disease. You want to prevent this, inhibit the chance of having an acute pancreatitis event ahead of time. So identify these individuals. We have to be paying attention to triglycerides. And when it's greater than or equal to 1,000, think of adding ApoC3 on top of nutrition and on top of our traditional therapies. But in those individuals with triglycerides from 150 to 999 that have atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, statin first, and then start adding other therapies like icosapent ethyl or the omega-3s. Those are certainly mentioned here in individuals. We always forget, and I'm being very careful here to remember our women, that are pregnant, childbearing age is what I meant. But women of childbearing age or during pregnancy, we can't forget them. Triglycerides greater than or equal to 500 milligrams per deciliter after the first trimester, then we can add fibrates. And then, of course, add in omega-3 ethyl esters in these individuals so that we reduce their pancreatitis risk as well. So lots that came into this, and hypertriglyceridemia gets a strong mention in treatment within, if you will, treatment within the guidelines. Yeah. So important. Why did we do the guidelines and what's the new things? We have to switch the calculators. The prevent calculator now has been reviewed. There's a separate paper that preceded this that explains why the prevent calculator is a much better calculator than the pool-Cord equation. So make that switch, but follow the CPR model. We have to calculate that risk, personalize that risk with any risk enhancers, And then it used to be CAC was part of that risk enhancer. It's separate, so it can reclassify, calculate, personalize, and then reclassify, CPR. Goals are back. So as we look at LDL cholesterol and non-HDL, think of those targets less than 100, less than 70, less than 55, less than 55, and still tiered between primary and secondary. Measure Lp(a). It's universal. Please make sure, because it's genetic, it's inheritable, and then it also has a stable nature throughout. So measuring it once makes a lot of sense. CAC is much more actionable than it ever has. So watch the scores from 0 all the way up to greater than or equal to 1,000, because that also changes intensification of therapy. We have to expand this toolbox. So they did. Bempedoic acid, inclisiran, PCSK9 monoclonal antibodies, all mentioned. I will just mention here HIV, CKD stage 3, and cancer also mentioned. Make sure you're looking for cardiovascular risk reduction in those individuals. And then I didn't get to talk about it, and I'm going further than 5, just so that folks know, dietary supplements are not recommended for lipid lowering. Please recognize that we need to go to those things that have clinical trial evidence, evidence-based medicine first. Don't frown on patients who want to use dietary supplements, but it has to be made clear that in the guidelines, we don't have evidence that dietary supplements help in lowering LDL cholesterol.